This week on IFBB AMA Podcast.
It's hard to have a big smile after 60 minutes of stairs and posing, and you're fasted. You've been up for 3 hours already. I just want to get through it at that moment, but when I get up on stage and I'm looking ready, I'll be smiling, that's for sure.
In a situation where you're trying to time and make that first impression, backstage, are you posing beforehand longer than you normally would with most people?
If you're conditioned for one round, second round, you're going to be beaten up big time. So you have to be conditioned to last 15 minutes. Hadi Choopan doesn't want to get off the stage. He will stand there for hours. He would sleep on the stage.
Little veggie, little zucchini, and spinach.
What is your go-to veggie in prep?
I've been switching them, but I like onions and peppers, and then like shredded lettuce. Zucchini is pretty good. I like zucchini. That's probably what I've been doing the most of. I like you can buy those zucchini spirals, the frozen zucchini spirals, and it's like you're eating pasta. So yeah, you throw that in the pan and just cook that up with your chicken and whatnot and peppers and make a grimy bowl. They're called grimy bowls.
Grimy bowls.
Okay.
That's great. You're gonna market that.
Yeah, grimy bowl coming available soon to you.
Rolls, grimy bowls,
grimy everything.
My wife had a zoodler maker where you put like the zucchini and it has like the little grinding wheel.
You can make it fresh.
Oh yeah, but dude, to clean that thing is a nightmare.
Oh God, yeah.
I was not big on vegetables either,
Really?
No.
Yeah, I wasn't. For me, it was like a waste of calories to try to burn the fiber. I was never really going for these negative calories, like celery, right? Burns more calories trying to digest than you're going to get from it. For me, that was never the case. And I was,
So then, Milos, like if you were dieting hard, I guess you always had a fast metabolism. When you were competing, you were still eating decent, right? Like you didn't have to go. Like you didn't need did you need the filler at any moment? Like were you like, shit, I need to eat cucumbers? Like
I said to you, if I show you my journals, you would hardly see vegetables, right? I was eating my protein for protein, carbs for carbs, and I had enough, fiber. I was using a psyllium, fiber.
Yeah.
I mean, here and there you throw vegetables, you throw like oats and stuff like that, but I didn't eat. Look, if you're hungry, veggies help big time. Because but if you have a trouble eating, which was my case, I said, I don't want to push it more. Now in your case, of course, you complain sometimes that you kind of feel bloated, right? You're not digesting the protein. I mean, a lot of coaches take all the veggies out a couple of days before, just to make sure that you don't have
that.
Zero bloat, yeah. Because some of them do, like your broccoli, cauliflower sometimes is pretty bloating. Yeah. I feel that.
I mean, as you know, we throw in always asparagus for a little diuretic purposes anyway. Yeah.
I like asparagus.
It's not wrong by no means. I don't know, Chris, if you see on Regan's story on Instagram, he's posting like meals that Brittany, his girlfriend, is preparing. I just told Regan today, like, I've seen that one video and I got hungry. I was already in bed. I said, okay. I told my wife.
You're like, Betty, can you make me something like this one?
Yeah, it looked good. It's a period of time when he's hungry as hell because we limited amount of carbs, fats are not big time there anyway. So of course, veggies, I let him have it. So I don't even ask. As Charles Poliquin back in the day, he says, if it has eyes, runs, swims, flies, and if it's green, you can have as much as you want.
Wow, I like that. What now? A lot of coaches will be like, okay, you can have 100 grams. Then they do like a weight on their vegetables. Like, what is your take on that? I mean, both as being coaches, like, I've worked with like Aceto. He was like unlimited veggies. Milos, you don't seem to mind really too much if I have veggies. Like,
of course.
Do you ever limit them?
No.
I limit them and this is what I usually say.
Yeah.
I usually say, hey, listen, these are the vegetables that are suitable, because I hate having to put out fires later when people start doing something crazy, like consuming way too much broccoli. So I'll say, hey, these are the vegetables you should limit. These are the vegetables you can repeat as much as you want. I'm allowing you to have as many veggies as you want, but if it becomes a problem, you're going to have to pull them back slightly, or limit them to 100, 150 grams per meal. Because I've had people be like, they're like stomachs distended, they're bloated, they're constipated. And then as soon as you start fishing, you're like, hey, what are you doing? They're like, I'm eating a whole bag of green beans per meal.
Yeah, like, no. What's happening?
Well, funny. Green beans are green, yes, but it's much more caloric. It's still beans. So I don't allow that kind of unlimited. Like put it this way, you look for a feedback. Okay, veggies don't bloat you. Eat the veggies. I mean, why would you ever use the veggies that bloat you? And you're just
stupid.
So I never liked the broccoli. We didn't even have a broccoli in my country, in Serbia, back in the day. So I didn't even know what it is. And then when I came here and people are eating, and first time I had it, I said, I would never had this shit.
So Milos, you're telling me deep into prep, you never added vegetables like last 4 weeks, last 3 weeks at all, anything like that?
I mean, seldomly. You know what? Sometimes when I look through my journals, I see some surprising things that I don't remember. Like 3 sustanone in one day. Like, oh, what the hell was that all about?
That's funny.
If you ask me before, have you ever done it? I say, oh, here's my wife. It's hiding here again. And bring me a coffee. So I did have vegetables here and there, like Regan. I like bell peppers for sure.
Yeah, me too.
I like asparagus. Yes, for
asparagus,
sure.
Yeah.
Salads. I mean, one of those things. Salads in no, I never had off season, but normally I could care less. I could have a salad if I go to the restaurant.
Yeah.
But to make salad at home, good luck with that. Shit.
Too many ingredients.
Same thing like rice cakes, right? There's no way I would have a rice cakes normally, but closer to the contest, I said, "Oh my God, this is like the best thing on earth."
It's like a little snack, yeah.
A
little crunchy.
As far as veggies, like Regan knows, I don't even limit, because nobody's gonna overdo the veggies, and even if you, not really. Who likes them
at your level? At your level,
yeah, because we're also like pretty in tune with ourselves. Whereas like some amateurs would be like, "Oh, why am I so bloated?" It's like, dude, you're having a couple pounds of greens a day,
Yeah, Milos, I get people who do that quite a bit. It's like the second you restrict them on something, they immediately will turn to something that they're not restricted with and go overboard with it. You know what I mean? It's like the novice amateur. Like. You don't have to see. There's like it's a really interesting topic to think about, right? It's like when you're working with a very seasoned athlete, there's a lot of common sense things that individual already knows that you don't even have to say, right? It's like versus somebody who's like first year competing, second year competing, third year competing. It's like they're so green to everything.
Just like posing. Milos never has to ask me to pose. I just do it.
Actually, I had to stop him. I said, "Stop it already! Come on,
stop! You're posing too much.
Listen. Chris, I'm going to tell you what happened today and yesterday. Yesterday, after like 0 carbs for a few days, Regan didn't look too impressive, in the posing room, as you can imagine. Of course, it's okay. If it's not catabolic, but looks beat up a little bit, right? Muscle is not responding and all this stuff. So today, even when he came in, it was considerably better, like visibly leaner, but still kind of flattish. Now, he did 1 round of posing and already, okay, this is good. Second round of posing, it was a different Regan. I mean, this Regan would blow away the other one, like, it's not even comparable. And then third round, even better. So
it's crazy how it does that. Really.
Okay, and that's the first day that he ever experienced, because all these last 2 months that I tell him pose 4 times a day, he probably never does it.
Right.
No.
Oh
Is that
my God.
post workout? Is that post workout or cold?
No, this is so like we wake up, I'm fasted. I probably have like, two or three cups of water, head to the gym, do my cardio, either 30 minutes or 60 minutes, and then we pose. So, and we're still fasted. So it's like I was thinking though, like when you look at the physique fasted, I feel like it's the best way to look at it. Because
Yeah.
like if you can look a certain way fasted and you're doing that the same every time, you can only imagine with the carbs and filled out and dried out what you're looking at. So I like to do it like that. And I feel like my stomach's the flattest too when I pose at that moment.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it, Chris, but I'm sure pretty the same. If it's a long distance client, I tell them always at the same place, from the same distance, with the same camera and the same conditions, because that's comparable. If right now I do right here, and then next video I give you fully pumped from the gym, how can you compare it, right? So for me and Regan right now is like, okay, I want to see him on the same conditions in the morning all the time, right? But I'm gonna say it, Regan. If you think that I'm not gonna say it, I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
For me, Regan has this most aesthetic physique, right? I mean, you have aesthetics. Everything is art. Front relax is art. Moving is everything is artful, right? So, and you want to present it to the people. Look at me. Look at the masterpiece. In sense, I don't want to be arrogant, right? But in that sense, I was telling him, look at the Jay Cutler. We were watching Olympia, whatever. On the stage, you see that he shines. He wants to be there, and he wants attention. Look at me, not arrogantly, but confidently. So he has to have eyes of the judges constantly in him. So there's no interruptions. There's nothing less than perfect. So today, when I look at it, right, it was considerably better. But if you pose 4 times a day, 3, 4, 5 rotations every time, right? So imagine doing it 20 times a day. In 1 month, that's 600 times. Anything you do 600 times in a month, you're going to be flawless. Your brain, it doesn't even have to work. Your body goes, right? So these are kind of things. And Regan, again, we have a project, Mr. Olympia. I still believe that he can win Olympia. We had a 3-year thing. And first we have to qualify for this one and get maybe in the top 6 this year if it's feasible. But that's a different story. But I'm going to say this publicly: to get there, you have to convince people. And how are you going to convince people? When on a stage, you just shine. You want to be there. There's a difference when you work your poses off. I'm going to do these 8 poses because I have to. And I'm going to do these 8 poses and check out the first one, check out the second one, look at the third, stuff like that. So that's the difference. And I still don't have this from Regan. He is getting better, but it's still not
so I have a good question. So obviously you just stated that Regan got better the longer he posed, right? So
he could see it.
So, okay. And now that's in a fasted state, right?
Yeah.
Now you fast forward to a particular show, you're trying to handle the expediters telling you when to be on stage, when to pump up, how much longer you go. It's like difficult a lot of times to time that just right when you go out for your individual routine, for the first lineup. And then sometimes they give you enough time, like obviously at the Texas Pro, I'm not sure if you guys are aware, like, dude, Hunter and Andrew, they were posing for like 15 minutes. Like like straight, like they weren't stopping. It was like pose after pose after pose after pose. That's awesome. Andrew got better and Hunter started to fade. So it's like in a situation where you're trying to time and make that first impression, knowing that information backstage, are you posing beforehand longer than you normally would with most people?
Right.
But so your question is, do you pose backstage or what?
No, sorry. That was a long question. In other words, in Regan's situation, since you know that he gets better on his 3rd round of posing, are you going to count for that, like backstage, to do something to make sure he times it right?
Right.
On stage, he's popping.
I think if with a pump up would do the same thing as like the posing. you know, right, like each round, you know.
Yeah.
So maybe, yeah.
Well, listen, there are two components there.
Okay.
You know, first is that you have to last 15 minutes, like you said,
Yeah,
on the
true.
stage. They're going to go back. It's just like last 15 minutes in an octagon or in a ring, right?
Fighting.
If you're conditioned for one round, second round you're going to be beaten up big time, right? So you have to be conditioned to last 15 minutes. And
Yeah.
I'm glad, Chris, that you said it. It's Hunter against Andrew. They've seen it once. They won it a second time and a third time and a fourth time, right? It's just like keep going. And sometimes I know how it is. Steve or Tyler or whoever else is going to be judging, you're going to say, okay, let me work them and see who is last man standing, right?
Yeah.
Let's see who can handle it, who can't. Apparently, Samson lost to Nathan DeAsha in the first Honor Classic that I worked with him by 1 point because like fourth round of posing, he started fading and sweating, and Steve went in Nathan's direction. That was that close. I keep pushing this. You got to pose 4 times as scheduled. You know, first time with me, and 3 more times. 20 minutes. You just have to drill it and drill it and drill it. That's how it's supposed to be.
I agree because, you know more than anybody the experience you have and all the clients you've coached. It's like, if it's really close and they want to push it to a last man standing, the person who practiced posing the most and is conditioned to pose is going to come out on top, which seemed to be evident by the Texas Pro. Like at first when they both came out, Milos, I had Hunter winning. Like I was like, oh, Hunter's going to win. And then as time went on, you could see him start to fade a little bit and Andrew start to harden up a bit.
There you go.
And then at the night show, it was like they just killed them. I've never been to a pro show or seen a pro show where they took the top 2 and they posed them that long.
But that's interesting. That's exciting. I love it. Yeah. I complained before, like you don't have enough comparisons. I love the comparisons. The whole thing about the contest, audience comes to see that this is duel. This is what we all wanted, right? So, but I'm going to tell you this, Chris. Back in my time in the 90s, we had Ben D'Emilia was president of chairman, and then he was the one usually on the microphone and all that stuff. And then if he doesn't like you, he's going to work your ass up so you can quit, right? And he didn't like me particularly, right? And I got 6 consecutive comparisons. You know how back in the day they pulled 3 guys out, and I stay, and 2 other guys come. Okay, let's say Miller stay, 2 other guys, 6 times in a row, right?
No way.
Yeah, and they finally I know what he was doing. I said I can do this all day. I said I can do this all day. Then I was pulled back. It's not going to break me,
No.
But at least you get some stage time. At least you get some more comparisons.
Yeah. But there is a difference. Look, still, I'm going to say this again, and I want Regan to listen, because Regan, you have high plans and all that stuff. So eventually, when you're going to be at elite Olympia level, and it's going to be battling, crazy. There's every little advantage works. So if you present that you shine, that you want to pose, you don't want to get off the stage. Hadi Chupan doesn't want to get off the stage. Look at him. He would stand there for hours. He would sleep on the stage. Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, and it's visible. So, I don't know if you remember when he was challenging like Phil Heath, he pulled him into the front of the stage, to keep posing. I mean, everything like this is visible. And I know in Reno, you were loving it, and you presented it. At Egypt, I wasn't there. I've seen the video footage. You look like you enjoyed
same thing. Yeah. It's hard. It's hard to have a big smile after 60 minutes of stairs and posing and you're fasted and you've been up for 3 hours already. I can smile, but it's probably not a real one. I just want to get through it at that moment. But when I get up on stage and I'm looking ready, I'll be smiling. That's for sure.
Hey, Chris, how it is, we go through the first round. Second round, he already skips the quarter turns. He goes straight into the front double biceps.
Making me sound terrible. Jesus.
Yeah. And then after the second one, he didn't want to do the third one. He said, okay, I didn't have a breakfast. I still need to do the cardio and all. And I said, you know what? I've seen that last video that you post. And he goes, if somebody tells me to do more, I'll do more. Okay, good. Do one more. Shit.
So I have a good question. I don't know if you guys even answered this before. How did you guys connect, Regan, and why? I asked James the same question, and James had an outstanding answer for why he chose Milos. So, like, what? I can mute him so he can't hear you if you want to tell me the truth. No, I'm just kidding. But why Milos? Other than obviously his knowledge, like what stuck out?
Well, it was manager Matt Daniels and I that had we were kind of okay. So it's at the last Olympia that I did. It was at 2021, and it was the second time I was there. I remember seeing Milos at the athletes meet the Olympians. I think both years, and then after that, I did the competition. Both times, I just missed my mark completely, and I remember Milos he came up to me, he's telling me how he was a fan of my physique and he's excited, can't wait to see it. And then both times, just didn't nail it. It just wasn't there. It wasn't dry, it wasn't full. I was kind of a little watery still, a little soft looking. But 2 weeks out, I felt like I was looking pretty good. So there was an issue with peaking for these shows. And then also, getting into even more condition obviously would be better too. But anyways, after the Olympia 2021, I was like, I got to make a change. And I met up with Matt the day after, and we were kind of just discussing, who would be an option, who to go with. Because prior to that, I didn't do much thinking of it. And then Matt's like, well, what about Milos? And I'm like, okay, let's. And he pretty much, I think within 5 minutes, had got a hold of you somehow. And then we arranged a meeting. An hour later, I was at a photo shoot at the time at Iron Republic Gym in Florida. And then within the hour, we were together just chatting about just you had the questions about what I've done and where I was and stuff like this. And then what do you know, 2 or 3 days later, I'm flying out to Vegas and we do a 2-week prep into Reno, Egypt, and Prague.
Yeah, but I guess who was the other? Honey Rainbow was the other option?
Yeah, Honey was the other
but
one.
He was maybe not there or whatever. So they called me, and I was packing to go to the airport. They said, okay, I have a couple of hours, so let's meet.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris, I'm a huge fan of Regan since 2017, and I always say this, he doesn't even remember. I stopped him, on the way to the bathroom at the 2017 Olympia Expo, and then took a picture of him, right? And then every time I really look for him, because for me, he has the aesthetics that I keep saying, #bodybuilding, right? What I would want bodybuilding to be like, the aesthetics, V-taper, X-frame, the beauty, shapely. And 2021, really, I was so excited to see him on the stage, because I've seen some leading up to the show updates, and I said, this guy has what it takes. I just hope that he's going to be there. And then he didn't. So we hooked up, and we did the Reno. He placed second. I would still say controversial second, with all due respect to Sean Clarita, who, I mean, you can never say nothing against him winning if they're going to go for that look. But 2 weeks before that show, the Derek Lansford, with similar qualities as Regan had, better structure, not better condition than Sean Clarita, better structure, better V-taper, overpowering many width poses. He beat him. So for me, that was a no-brainer. Regan is very closely conditioned to him, and much better, so, but he didn't win. So, oh shit. Then he had Egypt right away, and he won that one. But see, what people don't realize, So Regan has to fly, from Reno to Germany to Dubai, work his boot for 3 days, and then go to Egypt, this kind of thing. And with all these circumstances, I think he nailed it greatly. He won that show.
That was awesome.
Yeah. But anyway, the next show was Prague, which it was very close. It was close in Egypt, but you prevailed, and then Samson won, and second was Rafael Brandao, right?
Samson and Rafael.
So my question to you, Milos, was he eating enough protein when he got to you?
No.
No.
Hey, listen, again, here is a confession. Come on, confess. First thing I told him since we started working, I wanted him to boost the protein big time. Okay? But he kind of avoided.
I mean, I think it's hard off season to get that much meat in. As we, I think when it was off season, we always try to do like 250, I think.
You would do 300.
200, and I'd have like a scoop of protein or something. But now as we got closer, obviously I'm getting hungry and whatnot. And then we actually got the protein up to 300 grams cooked meat per meal. And we've been on that now for a while. But I feel like it's put like density on my muscle. Like, I don't know. It brings a different look, I think.
What's funny, Regan, is so many podcasts, Milos always asks how much protein you're intaking.
Right.
And then like the look on his face when Jewett was like, oh, like 250 grams. And then,
wow.
And then Milos goes, 250 grams per day? How much do you weigh? And Jewett's like, at the time, like, oh, like 237. He's like, man.
Like, we're doing like 510 grams per day. Yeah.
500 is good. I love it.
Yeah.
So, no, but even Chris, I mean, first, I don't know if you know, Regan, Chris has a certification in nutrition. So,
no, I know, yeah.
And then he has so much experience. It's not just theory, there's a practice.
Yeah,
I know that there was always that notion that you don't need as much. Every time when you see a recommended daily allowance, and then, see people talking, and it's just like people bumping up a little bit, and then, okay, that's sufficient. I went into more I took, better I look, more muscle I made. So say, why would I stop here? So this is how I experimented back in the day. I just keep adding, and then I realized I have to have my 500 grams a day. And as Regan just said, it's hard at the off season. First, I didn't have off season, right? And hard and difficult doesn't mean impossible. I force feed myself. I mean, I'm a bodybuilder. So, Chris, if you ask me, what would I want for Regan until he goes to the Olympia stage, right? Compromise with the protein, and we don't need as much, but push as much as you can. For me, it's a no-brainer, right? I can compromise on carbs and fats, but no compromise on protein. This is for me really. I said it officially. Everybody can listen. Anybody that trains, I would tell them increase your protein. And I don't know how many messages I got on Instagram and stuff like that. Oh, ever since I increased my protein, finally I'm growing. I don't understand why.
But I will say, you guys have done a great job. And Regan, you look phenomenal. It's like it's such a night and day difference. Like over the year, and like seeing the pictures come out and emerge, you're like, holy shit.
No,
and then now all of a sudden you hear like your name keeps coming up in other podcasts, it's like top contenders and whatnot. But it's very impressive. It's also impressive how your midsection stayed tight, like it didn't blow out or anything like that. It's like the physique's more polished, everything is great. Now
that's something I'm like, because with the 300 grams of meat, it is quite a lot. I mean, for most people, they might not be able to digest it You know, like they might feel a little bit of bloated or whatever. So, you know, I'm using probiotic and a digestive enzyme like meal 1, 3, and 6 to help with that. But it hasn't been a problem, which is been nice. And I hope, you know, we can keep it that way, because I really do feel like the high protein is changing the look of my physique.
You
Yeah.
know, you adapt to everything, you know, not just physically, man, yeah, but adaptation nutritionally. As
Hmm.
I talked to Chris knows my plan, my theory. For me,
Yeah.
ideally, 24 hours a day, at any point of the day, you have just enough protein, just enough carbs, just enough fat, right?
Hmm.
So if you have a perfectly scheduled throughout the day, you never miss anything, you never compromise. So, oh, this is missing. Oh, now, you know, convert this to that. Or now
Hmm.
you have too much, store it in the wrong storage place. No, ideally, this is what it is. But if you do day in, day out, whole year, constantly,
Hmm.
continuously, and you're digesting, body already knows how to process and send when it's supposed to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is how I look at it.
Yeah.
These variations, okay, now I'm fully on, and now I'm starving, and you know, that's probably what starts creating difficulty and digestive issues. If you're like this 24 hour, 24/7, 365, I
Yeah.
don't see a problem. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
body's
And,
adapt.
and honestly, it's a great, I love the high protein, especially dieting. I mean, we play with it a lot too, where we'll do, you know, one meal, we'll have two different types of protein. One of my meals has three different types of protein. So it's like, you know, we're having chicken breast, turkey breast, uh, one scallops, orange roughy, salmon, beef, uh, shrimp. Like there's just such an array of proteins. And I mean, like you said, Milos, it's good to do the mix, because there's different proteins shuttling different. I mean, I'm no scientist, but you you
I don't
can.
know how. Yeah, Chris, how do you feel about that? You know, mixing the proteins. You know, so
Well, yeah, the way I look at it is it being beneficial that I think some people might not is like it becomes incredibly redundant if you're like 300 grams of chicken every single meal,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah,
out of boredom, you're like, oh my God, I can't do
for
this.
real. Yeah,
But changing it up and having that different taste acuity can
yeah,
almost spark you to be able to get the protein down consistently. Not
definitely.
to mention, you're getting slightly different amino acid profiles.
Yeah. I mean, we got like 150 steak and 150 orange roughy, or like this meal is just amazing, you know, like
Yeah. Orange Roughy's old school.
yeah, it sounds cool. But I mean, listen, it tastes wonderful. I mean, that's probably the best tasting fish. But you know why? Because there's so much oil, and it's dangerous to take it every day, right?
Orange Roughy in the store, fresh or frozen?
I get the orange roughy from a butcher, actually. Yeah, right.
No.
It's fresh. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Super good. I love it. It's like it kind of tastes buttery, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Like a Chilean sea bass type of flavor has like that buttery
Woo,
taste.
beautiful.
I
Good.
always hated the fish.
Really?
I'm gonna pass. Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
this doesn't taste like fish. This doesn't even, this tastes better than chicken,
Yeah, it tastes way better.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
Wait, Milos, you don't like Alaskan salmon or anything like that?
Now, listen. I think I told you this last time. I eat salmon every day lunch, but I don't consider salmon a fish. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Do you have it raw every day, or do you do like
raw.
oven baked too? I know you do like the
Yeah,
slices and then you fire it up.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I love
every
that.
time.
And
Yeah.
97.5% of the time. Yeah,
So pretty much Milos has sushi every day for lunch.
yeah, yeah.
Oh
That's
yeah, yeah,
nice.
yeah.
I'm gonna go to Europe now, and I know I'm gonna miss that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
Not the same. Not the same.
it
Good
sounds.
food. Good food in Europe though. No, maybe I don't know about Serbia, but
Yeah, I mean it's great food for sure.
yeah,
It's also the
quality.
food. There's the food that you don't supposed to eat. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
In Italy, there is so much temptation out there.
I
But
know.
When I had salmon in Alaska, it was like,
Mm.
dude, I went to this restaurant. We get off the plane. Our cruise ship doesn't leave the next day. We're in Anchorage.
Mhm.
Not, yeah, Anchorage.
Anchorage, yeah, I
Yep.
was there too.
And I go to this restaurant. I'm like, well, I'm going to order salmon. Obviously, I'm in Alaska. I order it, comes out. It didn't even kind of like look like salmon because of the color. So I was like, oh. I'm like, is that salmon? They're like, yeah, that's salmon. And she goes, yeah, that was probably caught like earlier this morning. And I'm like, wow. And I try it and I was like, oh my God. I go, this is what salmon tastes like? This is not what salmon tastes like back in Connecticut.
Right. Because they put color, right? Like that orange color is not even what it is, right?
Some they do color it. Yeah. Some salmon and I think in nature doesn't have that same red glow as it does in the grocery store, you know?
Yeah. But I see Norwegian salmon is really good too. Yeah. But it's expensive.
The Norwegian, the Norwegian farm raised.
Yeah.
Very flavorful.
Really good. What's the other salmon? The more red one.
Sockeye.
Yeah, I don't like that one as much.
Fishy. It's leaner and fishy.
Fishy and dry a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, not for me. I don't know.
I made a mistake one day, and I was like, "Oh, you guys are
this will be fine."
Yeah.
God.
Same thing happened to you. You're like, "Oh, I'll just take that. That's fine." And you get home thinking it's gonna be similar. You're like, "It's not even close."
Absolutely not the same.
Not even close to the same.
I hate fishy fish. You know, that's what.
Yeah.
That's what
I haven't really had other fish. Like the only white fish I've had is the orange raffia. I wouldn't know what would be your next go-to.
Cod loins.
It stinks, no?
No, cod loins.
Oh, okay, cod loins.
Yeah, because you get a fillet, right? And it'll have the fillet and the loin. But some places will sell the loin separately. And if it's fresh,
ask the butcher for this then.
Right. And if it's fresh, not previously frozen, you get the loin. It's not fishy at all, and it tastes really good.
No way. I always thought cod was super fishy, so I stayed away.
The thin fillet tends to be more mushy, like flounder, and like a little. And if it's previously frozen, it tends to get a little fishy smell. But fresh Captain Cod loin cuts, really good.
There was Australian fish starts with B, but I don't remember exactly. It's very specific.
Barramundi?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, Barramundi. There's the place. Okay, so there's a place around the corner from our house. It's called the Fish Grill, and they have every type of fish. You can get any type of fish and like a rice with it. And there's a ton of places in Vegas that are really like nice that you can get like your food actually weighed out and proper, which is cool, especially off season. They tend to use a little bit of oil, so dieting I don't go there, of course. But
okay, let me ask you guys, what kind of wild game meats did you ever taste?
Oh,
any meats like from any animal?
I haven't really had much.
You have to have a buffalo, right? Bison.
Bison, yeah.
You had a venison?
Yeah, but I don't really remember. I think a long time ago.
Yeah, I had a deer meat.
Deer meat, yeah.
I had a bear.
Bear
too.
I had so in Spain they have it's really popular. It's pretty much illegal, I think, most other countries, but horse meat. That shit is good.
Really?
That shit is good, yeah, for real.
What does it taste like? What's the consistency?
It tastes like steak, like a nice ground beef. Like it was really good. Actually, I can't wait to go back to Spain. I want to have some of that.
Wow.
But in Canada,
the concept is kind of like
you're eating
weird.
dog.
It's like a horse. Like, come on, I don't like that.
I feel guilty.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like I like horses,
My favorite is elk.
Elk. I tried
100%. I couldn't believe it. I had elk medallions that I ordered from there's tons of places in Texas that sell game meats. You can order boar burgers, ground boar, ground elk, alligator. You can order all stuff.
What?
So we ordered a bunch of random samplers of random different things. And when I got the elk medallions, I was like, wow.
Elk medallions.
And it's as lean as chicken.
What is the calories on that? Like, what is that? A fatty?
It's as lean as chicken.
Chicken, yeah.
It's like as lean as chicken. It looks like steak. It looks like a lean cut of steak, but it's as lean as chicken, and it has a mild gamey flavor. Mild. But it has a good flavor.
Yeah, yeah. But just think about it. If you want a, leaner animal or fatter animal, right? So they eat organic, they eat outdoors, right? So they higher with protein, lower with fat, higher iron, less cholesterol, more omegas. This goes on. And if you can handle the taste, but I think I said this, Chris, before. Since I was 17 and I started bodybuilding, when I see lean cuts, like, oh, this goes straight into my muscle. As soon as I see some with a fat, I say, oh, this fat is going straight to my fat. Of course, it's not like that, but I had this since the beginning. So if I see fat in anything, in the steak, they like that marble. No. I'm not going to enjoy it because my brain is already putting that fat where I don't want it to be.
I honestly don't. I don't know about you, Regan, but I don't like when meat is super marbled. Like New York strip is as far as I'll go, but when it comes to like the Wagyu beef, I can't even say it. Wagyu beef.
Wagyu beef,
like, where it's like 80% white. I don't like that. I don't like very fatty meat.
I do like a nice prime rib though, prime rib steak.
Sometimes, like you said,
with the because you put the horseradish on it, and like usually they use like I don't know what the sauce is called, but it's kind of like a gravy. I think this is not a diet friendly thing, but that's one of my favorite meals for sure.
What are you eating? What is that?
Cucumber.
A cucumber. Oh, there you go.
Look what the girlfriend makes. Look at this bucket of vegetables.
Yeah.
Just having a cucumber.
I love it. What
was that red? Tomato or a pepper?
Those red pepper and orange
pepper. Green pepper.
This is for like snacking. I wouldn't just eat the red peppers because they're like a little sugar, but with the meals, right? You just put them in the meals.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Chris tells you, yeah, maybe it's a good idea. Let's limit to 100.
Oh my God.
Dude, you know what used to get me is like I would have clients, right? And like I'd give them a meal off plan and I would specify what that meal is. I'm like, dude, this is what you're gonna do. I want you to have 2 pancakes, just no syrup, no butter, specify. And then they send a picture of what they're doing, they post on Instagram, and they got this huge stack of pancakes and like fries, and I'm like, what the hell? And then I get a message later being like, dude, it was just for the picture. It was just for the picture. I didn't eat all that.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, my girlfriend ate the rest of it, right?
Yeah.
Plus, pancake be this size.
Yeah.
Oh, I specified
two silver pancakes, $2 pancakes. Yeah.
Pull the ruler out. Measure it.
Yeah.
7-inch
That's
pancakes.
Funny.
What is okay? Chris? What is your favorite enjoyable post-workout carb you would allow yourself to have?
Oh, for me, I love rice and grinds, flavored cream of rice.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'll do that with fruit, and that's my favorite thing ever.
Subtle plug. It's okay.
Oh my gosh. Maple waffle.
Delicious. Yeah, that stuff is good. That stuff is real good.
Man.
Yeah.
What about you, Milos?
I was always like a pancake kind of guy. Pancake, So
Can you do it like a dairy-free one, or?
Yeah, look, you can make it with the
Kodiak cakes,
oat flour and the protein. I mean, when you have a crafty cook, they can make all this good. And then jam and it's allowed post-workout. You can allow some simple carbs.
Yeah.
So that's what I did with Dennis James. He also liked waffles and pancakes. Gustavo liked also oatmeal, raisin, dates, banana, cook. So you make the oatmeal, right?
Yeah.
And with all this dates and banana and raisins or whatever else,
Yeah.
And then you basically bake it and you make kind of cookies.
Bake it or fry it, I guess. I guess either one.
Yeah, I mean, if you can air fry it, maybe banana fry.
Okay. You literally bake a kind of a cake with it.
Yeah, and listen, if you look, there's some circling around my like Dennis Wolf, Carb Up for the Olympia 2007, and Ben Pakulski, or here there would always be oatmeal cookies. That's what so like one
Is
cookie.
that your thing?
Yeah, I mean there would be like when you carb up with it.
Yeah.
I will let them have it. I mean,
That's awesome.
you're gonna have to have so much carbs, and these are the carbs that you like, so you have them.
You make sure that they're ones that digest really good. Yeah. They're like you enjoy it, so like it's not a problem. That's great. Some of these guys, you would have them do what, upwards of 2,000 carbs in a day. I think I heard. Like Dennis.
Yeah, Dennis was 5,000.
Jamie was a lot.
And okay, hold on a second. Yeah, Jamie was also. We did like 5,000 in 3 days. But today was.
It's that wild.
Yeah,
I think the most I did was about 1,000, 1,200.
I'd be insane
each day.
1,200, yeah.
This year will be the most by far. I've never eaten close to this amount of food on a prep. We're pushing down these last 2 weeks like much lower than we were, but I think once we add it back in, my body's going to really enjoy. It's going to be good.
It probably did already.
So now we're on carb up questions. So Milos and obviously Regan, because Milos, you give him options for carbing up and the carbs he's used to eating. Yeah. So what carbs are you going to carb up on?
My favorite would be, like you said, cream of rice. I love the cream of rice up the show because I feel like it's just digests really well, especially if you cook it nice and then it just goes down. And I know for the last slew of shows we were putting like banana in there, and when you mix up the banana, you put a little bit of salt. You don't even need sweetener. Like I would just eat it like that, and I could just crush that in my protein and I'd be good to go. Then rice, I really like sushi rice from Lundberg sushi rice. It's my favorite. So good. Oatmeal, it's kind of hit or miss. I feel like if I start to eat too much of it, I can feel bloated, but sometimes it's fine. I do enjoy it. Oatmeal, like maybe the meal before bed or something, like it's just nice, and it makes you feel fuller. And then I like crispy rolls. There are these crispy rolls, and it's just so it's how like rice cakes, a lot of them are brown rice.
Yeah.
Well, so I found these crispy rolls, and they're white rice. It's only white rice, and this is digesting really, really well. So I'll probably use a lot of those.
Sugar. It has some sugar.
It has, like a gram or two. Yeah.
Crispy rolls.
Crispy rolls, white. I don't know what the brand is, but
the other day.
Yeah. They're so good.
Jay Cutler said today, I watched his podcast with Nick Walker.
Mm-hmm.
When Nick confessed that he watched the Barbie movie, so I had to give him a hard time. Who does that?
He watched it?
But listen,
I haven't watched it. I have not watched it.
It should not be allowed to be seen by a man. But anyway, listen.
These?
Jay Cutler said, yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Those there.
Yeah, and they go so easy. But
I'll send you a picture too.
Jay Cutler had 300 grams of carbs post-workout. 300.
He ate a ton of carbs.
Yeah. I'm gonna grab it. He was saying 1,000, like 2001 when he looked fucking phenomenal. Like 10 weeks out of the show, he was already ripped. And now, they don't have any more fat to lose. So what do you do? So he was eating up. He says 1,000 grams of carbs every single day, all the way up to the show. And these 1,000 grams of carbs a day, you have to distribute, properly. So he had like 300 post-workout. It's like, well, that's even more than I thought.
I like that. Yeah. Here's these guys here. So Harvest and Lee crunchy rice rolls, original white rice.
How many carbs per roll?
Per roll is total carbs is 8 grams.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're like in this cylinder type form, and they're crunchy, and they're so good.
I'm going to order some on Amazon the second I get off the podcast.
No, Chris, you used to do that when I was carbing up, right? Sometimes you have a plan. I'm just going to have this much carbs in this meal. But then I would have those rice cakes, mini rice cakes. And, I don't supposed to have a whole bag. I plan a little bit less. But then there's, a few left there. It's like, you know what, I'm going to just go a little bit over. So I finished the bag. But then, like, oh, shit, I'm just going to have like a couple of more from the other bag. And then you open the other bag and you have a couple of more. But then, okay, I'm just going to have a half. And then you eat the bag. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to finish this bag. And I finished 2 bags instead of less than one. I did this.
Good.
But sometimes when you're carb loading, okay, even right now, I don't know how much carbs we're going to need for Regan to fill up. This is that one of the things that's variable. You look, oh, you can have more. You can have more.
Right.
So you have a idea, but that doesn't translate to this is exactly what's going to happen.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I like that mix too. So like when we would carb up for the last shows we do, we would have that bowl of cream of rice, whatever you have in that, some fruit maybe. But then like we'd always do like 3 or 4 rice cakes also. So you're kind of getting like a nice mix. It's always nice to have the assortment. I feel like, makes it more enjoyable for sure. I mean, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, why? Bodybuilding, you don't need to enjoy your food. I'm hardcore." Yeah, I get it, but like, it's nice to enjoy it too. Like, I love my food, so I mean, you can do little things to make it good.
That's the whole idea, and I don't know, Chris, if you're the same for you and then for your clients. For 20 years, I competed 110 times, right? All this stuff. I never suffered. I was eating the food I like. The only thing sometimes, okay, you have to bring down the carbs and then, you crave a little bit more. But the same food that I always eat, I have my choices. You have a lean protein list, okay, now is the time for lean protein plus carbs. So these are my choices for protein, these are my choices for carbs. If I have a fatty protein, obviously I'm going to have a less carbs, so then choice of fatty protein. But if I don't feel like eating something, why would I eat it? For me, I plan, okay, it's going to be chicken, but chicken doesn't sound good. But fish does. I mean, fish never sounds good.
But get the point though. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, turkey or chicken. Sometimes you want turkey.
Why would I eat what I don't like? No way.
Yeah, because sometimes forcing yourself to eat things you don't like can make you feel kind of sick. Like it's kind of like that mental. When you're a kid and you're like, mom's like, you got to eat that. That's what's for dinner. And I'm like sitting there eating meatloaf, going. Like gagging, like it's like, oh my god, this is too much. You can't do it.
Like finishing it so you can have dessert.
Right? yeah.
No dessert for you. You don't finish dinner.
Oh
okay. I don't know how you guys did, but in my family it was like this: you eat what they serve you, and then you have to finish it. There's not a single bite you can throw. Oh my god!
Oh yeah,
there's no way. Empty the plate. And like you said, you hated the first bite. You hated, and now you have to finish it. Like, oh Jesus, yeah.
What is? Do people? Most people know you're from Serbia, right? I mean, I would assume. What is like a food there that? What is that food like? What is that?
It's classic meat and potatoes with some veggies, but bread with everything. A typical, breakfast always is eggs and those lunch meats,
little sausages,
bread and yogurt, milk, dairy products, right?
Okay.
Well, just think about this one. We in America here, you don't have economic limitations and you can afford the foods, so we buy whatever we want to eat. When you don't have enough funds and you have to feed the whole family, there's not like I can just buy, lean chicken and lean beef and this. No. You have to be on a budget. So often in these families, to have enough calories, to have enough energy, for they stuff up with more fat and more breads that you shouldn't be eating. But interestingly, there are not too many fat people, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because yeah.
Because they're probably not over. They're probably eating 3 meals max. Two, 2 or 3 meals. So yeah.
Well, I always notice that like when you go to other countries and you order a dinner, the portion is not like the portions here.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
Like my client in Ireland who's competing, and we're doing carb up, and he was asking me, what potential items do you think I might need? And I'm like going through the list, and I'm like, why don't you grab a bagel, like a couple of white bagels, about 80 grams of carbs each. And he goes, 80 grams of carbs each per
Like
bagel?
30.
He goes, per bagel? He's like, what kind of bagel is you guys eating over there?
Oh, man.
I love bagels.
Yeah,
Me
because
too.
I tell you, one show I blew it in '93. I was on the East Coast, and then it was like every weekend. It was like Chicago, Niagara Falls, Niagara Champions, all that stuff.
93 could have been my birthday. Shit.
What?
93 was when I was born.
Oh, yeah? Jesus Christ. But, in New York, they have those bagel bakeries and stuff
Yeah.
like that, right?
Oh, yeah.
That was that mistake. Like, I'm going to
they're
buy
like that big.
before the
huge.
contest. Yeah, I'm going to buy before the contest, right? But I'm going to eat it after.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you?
We've all done it,
Who are you
though.
fooling? You know?
Yeah.
As soon as you're about it, like all the way, like, I'm just going to have like a bite. And then again, like, I'm just going to have a half. And I finish
Yeah.
one, and the next thing you know, you finish 5. Like, oh, man.
I remember my first couple shows, like when you're just learning, and then I would leading up to it, I would go to the grocery store, and while I'm getting my groceries, I would see snacks, and I'm like, oh, that's going to be so good. And I would buy that snack and keep it at home. And then I'd be like, I'm saving this for after the show. So by the time you're after the show, you got all this crap, and you're like so excited, day of the show after, I'm going to eat it, whatever. And then you finish the show, and first I've done it before, you eat too much or whatever, but now it's like I don't want any of that shit in my house, nowhere. And then after the show, I want to go to a nice restaurant, I want to have a nice meal, and that's it. Like I want something fresh, tasty, and then back at it the next day. Maybe my favorite chocolate bar is a Kit Kat, so maybe I'll have a Kit Kat or something. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't like keeping things in my house either. I don't like doing that.
No, I don't like it.
My wife's got an epic resentment against me because I threw out her toaster strudels. Dude, they were like in the freezer for like 3 months, and I'm like,
Really?
What is this? Yeah. What is this crap doing in here? I took the toaster strudels, threw them in the garbage, and then
well, eat my cherries.
Oh my God, she's right here. She came into her.
Those are childhood memories you should cherish, okay?
Yeah.
It happened like last year. She still brings it up all the time.
That's funny.
Okay, maraschino cherries. I love those things. He always steals the last one off my drink, and I'm like,
well, dude, if she's done with the drink almost, and there's 2 cherries left, I'm going to take the cherries.
By the way, do you guys like my shirt? Can you read it?
What do we got here?
Mandate diet and
exercise. There we go. There we go.
Hey, Regan, I was looking for certain things, and then I found where Betty's hiding these chocolates, right? This is like a bomb. It's chocolate covered figs from Trader.
Wow.
Oh my God! I tell you,
I never tried that.
I've never tried that either.
Oh my God! Trader Joe's, you're gonna go crazy.
Remember that other one you found? Was it Costco? The chocolate covered strawberries?
Yeah.
Or something, I think.
Yeah,
that's probably so good.
Yeah, I got what is it called something tough. It's like, but you keep it in the freezer. It's a kind of ice cream and all that stuff. It's too dangerous.
Is it? Yeah.
But I think I did tell you guys that I put frozen strawberries, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in a contest diet, you can have them. It's like a popsicle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I did this all the time.
Dude,
awesome.
Taking fresh strawberries, chopping them up, and then put them in the freezer. And then if you let them melt at room temperature, they get cold and mushy. And then you mix it into your cream of rice, your oatmeal, and it's
that's like a sauce.
Yeah. You ever been to Hawaiian Brothers? Hawaiian Brothers?
No,
It's like a fast food chain. They have like
I've never
chicken and
been.
rice. Well, they have a
Yeah, no.
machine. The machine that makes God, what are the flavors add? One of them is strawberry. So it's basically this. It's ground strawberry and ice. That's it. That's it.
Wow.
But it comes out in an ice cream, and it's
Yeah.
like this much is like 80 calories, and it's
What?
legit. It's legit.
This is maybe something like that, the Ninja Creamy, like just put with water and strawberries or something.
Yeah.
Oh, the one
Yeah.
that you didn't bring me today. You said you're going to bring me, but you didn't bring me today.
I know. I want to bring it to you.
Yeah. So, I mean, we should be talking about these desserts with his diet.
I know. It's like talk about food for an hour.
I had a Nutella covered strawberries earlier,
Ooh.
and I was enjoying Nutella until a few days ago. Somebody posted on the Instagram like how they make like so much palm oil, so much this,
Oh,
so
yeah.
much that. Like, it put me in a bad mood. I pretend like I haven't seen it. I don't know what is in it.
We don't want to know.
I mean,
It tastes good though.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about carb ups, and carb ups led to this food and all that.
Yeah.
But back to the idea of the oatmeal, the dates, the bananas, and a little like baked treat. Think about that, right? It's like potassium, easy digestible carbohydrates, fructose, slow digesting carbohydrates, fiber. It's like you have a whole plethora of carbohydrate blend together. That's like
This is healthy
nutrient
food. Like,
Great
But
idea.
you see, that's allowed in my diets. That's allowed. Post workout, you want carbs. This is your choice. Have it.
Yeah.
Well, shit,
I had-
Milos, I'm emailing you after this podcast. I'm going to hire you.
So, you know what? Yeah.
Yeah, and then like okay, Ben Pakulski improved on the cookie formula. Actually, if you ask him, he added like some orange peel and God
I
knows
love
what.
the sounds of that. It sounds so good.
But you tell me, if
Yeah.
is this allowed? How can I tell you it's not allowed? You know,
Yeah.
some oats, some bananas, some the dates and
Yeah.
why would that not be allowed?
Do you puree the dates? Do you take the bananas and
yeah,
dates,
that's
throw it
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
food processor?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
All in the oatmeal, and then you lay it out on a tray. Yeah.
of course. But listen, if you eat something that you don't feel guilty, you know, it's a huge thing. And then if you eat and you can visualize, okay, banana has some fructose and glucose, and the oats have some fiber, but it has the good quality carbs, and then simple carbs here. But okay, my muscles right now post workout are gonna suck all this up, okay, and you feel good about it, and you actually enjoyed it. The only thing is that limitation. So that's why I said Jay Cutler was eating 300 grams of carbs. You know how many goddamn cookies you can have, for 300. I usually limit to like 200. That would be it. And I got that also from Charles Poliquin. Chris, I don't know if you read some of his stuff before. He will have 200 grams of dextrose immediately post workout.
I hate that stuff. I hate it.
Yeah. It's a waste. Like 200 grams of carbs I could enjoy.
Yeah. Can you imagine that? Ugh.
Oh, I remember that stuff. Remember the now jugs of maltodextrin and then the now bags of dextrose, and you'd mix the dextrose and the maltodextrin together post workout. Oh
That's
my
gross.
gosh, I feel
I would
horrible.
way rather do a massive bowl of cream or ice.
Yeah.
And fruit
exactly.
and raisins and
Yeah.
Back in the day, that's what I gave to Dennis James, and he had this in Thailand, some aluminum dextrose thing, right? It was D-glucose, right? So he would have a 200 grams, right? And then, he said, like, well, after I don't know how long, I said, but, you can substitute this with and then I told him you could have the pancakes and the waffles and oats and all this shit. I said, you're telling me this now? I said, yeah, well, because back at the time, I do remember there was I met him 99 at the Night of Champions, and then I talked to him and I said, like, look, explain him the insulin and all that shit. And then, okay, can you explain this to me? So I sent him the like 15 pages of facts. he was even saying, like, jokingly, he ran out of paper, how much shit I was sending him, right? But then, there I put like 200 grams of dextrose as an example, because, sometimes when you write it and it was all handwritten,
Yeah.
like, okay, this. But I guess I was lazy to tell it, but you can also choose, to eat them. So now when I do for my guys, a pre and post workout, intra workout, you have to have a powder form, right? You have to have but pre and post carbs, I say I would rather eat it than drink it.
Oh, for sure.
That's the choice.
Regan, you heard that? He said back in the day when they had to handwrite out diets. Imagine imagine going down to the gym like on Saturday. You see Milos, and Milos has got like those the notepad, the black cover notepad books, and he's handwriting it out. And then like you get home and you start to look at it, and you're like, what does that say?
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. I had some of those they sent me. Like I was just at a Fit Nation, and the owner, I mean, imagine 20 years later, he pulled out the piece of paper and my drawing. You know how when I would put like insulin, like onset, peak, duration, like getting out and all that stuff. Every single time I had to do it again. I didn't even think about like, making a copy of it, and then I could send everybody the copy. For every guy that I sent it, I had to go, and handwritten. It was all original. There was never a Xerox copy.
Right.
Wow. Oh man. Yeah.
All right. So in the closing here, so exactly we are what? The show is Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday.
It's on a Sunday. So you are what? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days out?
10 days.
I don't know.
11 days out. And
That's
you
the day,
fly out
Thursday.
Monday.
Monday, Monday. And then I get to Italy on Tuesday.
Yeah, 9 hours difference. So yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
I'm going Sunday to Serbia, right? And then I'm going to be there on Monday. So Serbia, Italy is close enough. So of course,
We're gonna try to make that happen.
yeah, for sure. I mean, it's like Las Vegas Reno flight.
Yeah, it's like nothing. True.
Yeah.
And usually the flights within Europe are really cheap too.
Yeah.
Depends.
Should be,
But
right now.
usually they're not too bad.
So you're flying from Vegas to New York and then New York over, or straight from? How's that going?
Regan goes through Canada.
Sorry. I go to Toronto to Milan.
Oh, right. Toronto.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. And
Milan.
Milos, you?
I'm gonna go. It's a direct flight, Vegas, Frankfurt, and then Frankfurt to Belgrade.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It only 14 hours. I'll be there.
Nice.
I was searching all these flights, and you have like 28 hours. Yeah. By the way, when I was originally coming from Yugoslavia, Serbia, right, to my 1987 Miss Universe, there was 33-hour journey.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Not
go
fun.
mad.
Not fun.
And I arrived like 8 o'clock of morning of the show.
Hey, wait, Regan, think about this. 30-hour flight, and there is no technology on the airplane to mess with or play with.
Yeah, you're
Nothing.
literally just like twiddling your thumbs.
He's playing tic-tac-toe with the guy next to him.
Yeah.
Playing chess game.
I think there were movies. Come on, I think there were movies.
Was there?
Remember. It had to be.
I never saw movies when I was a kid on the damn airplane.
Yeah.
My dad used to give me a tic-tac-toe set. Play tic-tac-toe with the guy next to you. All right, so Regan, you're in Vegas right now, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Vegas now, 11 days out. You fly out Monday, you arrive Tuesday. You have to, does that mean you're overnight, your night flight?
Yeah, it's like a afternoon, and then it'll be overnight, I think. Yeah.
Are you able to
still
sleep
have
on
a
planes?
cardio tonight?
What?
You still have a cardio, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm not done.
How many times did you post today?
Not done. Me?
Oh no, the Brittany. Brittany, how many times did you post today?
Can't hear you.
That's
I just got back from a therapy session, so I had a 90-minute deep tissue massage, which was great.
So you skipped your second and third posing session.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Very good.
We have to go back to the gym and do it now. So
yeah, no.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, you get on that. And is there any secret recipes for the grimy bowl?
Hey, those will be dropping soon under my subscriptions on Instagram, right?
But listen, I mean,
think about how many ideas you could do that. The grimy bowl post workout.
Oh yeah. There's so many good ones.
But think about it. Everybody can really. There's zero secret, and he's been doing this for quite some time.
Yeah.
He shows exactly every meal and then a workout. There are no secrets. You know how people think, there are secrets. There's no secrets. It's just a hard work. You know?
Dude, they're not going to buy that. They always make up shit. I hear it all the time. In my local gym, I saw you, you're hanging out with so-and-so. So I heard they have special drugs over there. I'm like, dude, are you serious?
So stupid.
Are you serious?
Hey, somebody told me this before, and I did it, right? If I would bring this bottle, and it would be some blue drink, right? And I would drink it, and then everybody was like, "Oh, there's some blue drink, what is it?" It's blue. It's fucking, nothing in it. But it would always think they're secrets. And you know that I never had a single secret in my life. Anybody would ask me, I would tell them. All the coaches that ask me about my protocols, I would give them, send them the email.
To the point where they would think you're lying because you're too honest.
Yeah, that's how some people think. Yeah, no.
Yeah. He's out to screw with us. It's like, nah, I got nothing to hide. Try it. I mean, might not work for you. Who knows? You know.
Yeah. But for all the listeners, whatever we teach you, what Regan or Chris or I, if something makes sense, right, then you can do it. If it doesn't make sense, okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
You can always ask me any questions, but if you make too much sense, it's crystal clear, then how can you not do it? No. I'm not going to do it. I don't trust it. Does it make sense? Does? Do it and see what happens.
Yep, 100%.
Anyway, okay.
All right, Regan, awesome, I appreciate it, man. I know you're busy. You're 1.5 weeks out, not even.
Yeah, kind of pose.
Get that protein? Awesome. I'm going to order those freaking things right now, man.
Yeah, man. Come on, crunchy rolls.
Looks like they have a couple different ones.
There is. So there's some with white rice and like mixed with like a black rice. There's some that are white rice mixed with brown rice, but these are all white rice. So it's super, super nice for, especially pre-workout and post-workout.
This one is coconut crispy rolls.
So this is Harvest and Lee is the brand.
All right. Yeah. I'm gonna order that now.
Okay.
All right, dude. I appreciate it, man.
Thanks, guys.
Good luck, man. Safe travels. Milos, I'll talk to you next week.
See you in the morning, Milos.
If you enjoyed this podcast, check out the recommended clips here.